Hello, it's Tiffany here at For Women's Hearts. I'd like to talk to my ladies today about breastfeeding. Now, there's some of you out there that perhaps are pregnant or planning on having a family. I'd really like to tell you about the benefits of breastfeeding from my own personal experience. Our bodies are designed to nurture, to have children, and to feed our children. I know it's not that straightforward for everybody, and I'm aware of the fact that if you're on medication or you've got other problems, it's not going to be possible for you to breastfeed. But if there is a way you can at least give this a try, please, I urge you to do so. Now, the first 2 weeks of breastfeeding are the most difficult. If you can get to 2 weeks, you've done it. You're flying. And it's important to get the right advice before you breastfeed so that you know what to expect. Now, I had my first child when I was 20 and I didn't have any advice. I thought I'd be a natural. I thought I knew it all. Baby was born. I said to the midwife, I want to feed it myself. And I remember the midwife says, the baby's been a bit distressed. It'd be much easier to give him a bottle so that he and yourself can have a good night's sleep. I says, no, I want to breastfeed my baby. Can I have him, please? And she handed him to me. And I put him to my breast. And he started to take my milk. And it wasn't an easy task at all. And it hurt. It's actually quite sore. But I stayed up all night in the hospital ward trying to feed my baby. And the baby became distressed. And then my community midwife came in to see me the next morning. And she was a wonderful woman. She says, right, you're going to breastfeed, let's persevere. And I said to her, my nipples are so sore. And they really were so exceptionally sore. Plus I'd just given birth, so I wasn't feeling too brilliant. And I'd been up all night. So she gave me some nipple shields and she held the baby for me and she showed me what to do. And for a couple of days, it was, I was managing to keep up with the breastfeeding, but the baby was crying a lot. The midwife said, day 1, day 2 and day 3 after childbirth, you don't produce the full breast milk. It's more of a drink for baby. But the reason baby's crying is because all these tears are strengthening his heart and his lungs. She said, and also you're passing on your immunity. You're helping baby's immune system keep going. She says, on day 3 you may feel a bit weepy because your hormones change. Day 3 I woke up and my breasts, well, they must have been 4 times their natural size. And I felt weepy, terribly emotional. I persevered, I was feeding baby. And I was still very sore. And it was just about getting this balance. And every time baby cried, even if he was in a different room and I couldn't hear him, or remember the family says baby's been crying, I knew because my breasts would actually produce milk. So it was sort of, I was taken over by nature's natural course really. My whole body was working with compliance with baby's demands, supply on demand. But it was an amazing feeling. And I did struggle, and it was just getting the routine where I was trying to get him to sleep for 5 or 6 hours at a time. And one midwife would say, well, try and get him to sleep longer in the evenings. And another midwife would say, just go with it, supply on demand, you'll find your natural balance. And that's the method I went with. And baby started to thrive, and we got into this routine. And after 3 or 4 weeks, I was getting 6 or 7 hours sleep a night, and it just got better from there. But after 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of breastfeeding, it just all clicked into place, and it was the most amazing bonding experience of me with my baby. And during the time of breastfeeding, you feel your stomach muscles tighten, it pulls in all of your thighs, and it works to help your body get back to normal. So you actually do tone up a lot faster than if you don't breastfeed. Now, like I say, I know it's not for everybody. You may be on medication, you may have inverted nipples, in which case that's not a problem. You can use breast shields, or you may have just got sore like I did, in which case you could have used breast shields. But get the right advice first, and It's not a bed of roses. It's not baby puts to breast and it just goes well. Do expect problems for the first couple of weeks, but don't think because you've got those problems that you're not meant to breastfeed. Overcome the problems, and the problems that you and baby will go through for you to get that bond will bring you so much closer together. You can express your milk and put it in a bottle for other people to feed baby, so it needn't affect your social life. You can still go out and have a drink. You can feed breast milk. It's just a wonderful thing, and I really would recommend, if you are going to try it, to give it at least a month. Don't expect the first 2 weeks to be easy, because they won't be, unless you're very lucky. But it's worth it. And the case studies prove that children who have been breastfed are less likely to get asthma and other illnesses later on in life. And if you didn't breastfeed yourself and you've got a young family, you've got a daughter or friends who are with young, encourage them to do the same. Tell them to give it a try. It's definitely worth the perseverance. So I'm Tiffy at Four Women's Hearts. I'd love to know how you've got on. I have held classes in the past for breastfeeding. If you've got any questions, let me know, and I'll help you to the best of my ability to get through this time in your life where you may be struggling for those first 2 weeks or there on afterwards. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.